Kofi Mensah lived a simple life. He was a man of few needs and many dreams, finding joy in the little things that life in Accra had to offer. His days began with the first light of dawn, the soft glow of the sun casting a golden hue over the bustling city. The sounds of roosters crowing and the distant hum of morning activities were his daily alarm clock. He was a carpenter in Accra, Ghana. His workshop, a modest space filled with the scent of freshly cut wood, was his sanctuary. Here he crafted beautifully. His days were filled with the scent of wood and the rhythm of his tools, every stroke of the chisel. He was a respected man. Known for his honesty, Kofi had a loving wife, Abena, and a son to bright, a daily reminder of the beauty of life. Their small home was filled with laughter and the aroma of Abena's delicious fufu. Mealtimes were a cherished ritual, a time for the family to come together, share stories, and enjoy the fruits of their labor. The simple act of breaking bread was a celebration of their bond and resilience. He instilled these values in his child, teaching him the importance of integrity and compassion. Through his words and actions, he showed him that true success was measured. Did he know his life was about to change forever? The winds of change of his loving family was ready to face whatever the future held. Across the ocean, the FBI was on a mission. Their target was a man who had eluded capture for years, a ghost in the world of international crime. They were pursuing Ethan Grady, a notorious con artist wanted for international fraud. Grady's criminal activities spanned continents, leaving a trail of deception and financial ruin in his wake. Grady was cunning and elusive, a master of disguise with a knack for blending in. He could change his appearance at will, making him nearly impossible to track. His trail led to Accra, Ghana, where the FBI believed he was hiding. The bustling city provided the perfect cover for someone like Grady, who thrived in chaos and anonymity.
We need to find Grady. He's been slipping through our fingers for too long. Every day he remains free, more people fall victim to his schemes.
Detective Mark Sullivan, a seasoned FBI agent known for his tenacity, was leading the pursuit. Sullivan had a reputation for never giving up, no matter how difficult the case. Sullivan was determined to bring Grady to justice, unaware of the grave mistake that awaited them. His team was ready, but the path ahead was fraught with danger and uncertainty. The foreign agents arrived at the capital of the country, Accra. The local residents were wary, unsure of what the presence of these foreign agents meant for their community. Little did anyone know this shadow was about to fall on the wrong man. An innocent bystander would soon find himself entangled in a web of suspicion and danger as the hunt for Grady took an unexpected turn. One humid afternoon, Kofi was working in his shop. The air was thick with the scent of freshly cut wood and the rhythmic sounds. The sounds of hammering and sawing filled the air, a symphony of creation that Kofi found both soothing and invigorating. Each strike of the hammer, each cut of the saw was a testament to his skill and dedication. Suddenly, a group of agents in plain clothes appeared at the doorway. Their presence was jarring, an intrusion into Kofi's world of wood and craftsmanship. They were the FBI, and they had mistaken Kofi for their fugitive, Ethan Grady. The agents' faces were stern, their eyes scanning the workshop with suspicion. "What is happening? I am not this man you are looking for." Kofi's voice trembled with a mix of fear and confusion. He had never been in trouble with the law, never even had a speeding ticket. The accusation was absurd, unbelievable. Kofi's mind raced, trying to comprehend the situation. How could they think he was this fugitive? He had never even heard of Ethan Grady. Kofi was a simple carpenter, not an international criminal. His life was dedicated to his family and his craft, far removed from the world of crime and fugitives. But his pleas of innocence fell on deaf ears. The agents were convinced they had their man, and nothing Kofi said could change their minds. His heart sank as he realized the gravity of the situation. He was arrested, handcuffed, and dragged away from his life, his family, his reality. The shock was overwhelming.
We've got our man. Let's move. The words echoed in Kofi's ears, a cruel confirmation of the mistake that had just upended his life.
Thrown into a foreign prison, Kofi felt utterly lost and alone. The air was thick with despair, the clanging of bars a constant reminder of his confinement. The guards spoke a language he didn't understand, their faces etched with indifference. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Hope began to dwindle, replaced by a suffocating sense of despair. He thought of Abena and the children. their faces blurred by tears in his memory. How were they coping? Did they know he was innocent? The thought of his family suffering because of a terrible mistake was unbearable. He clung to the belief that the truth would eventually come to light, but the wait was agonizing. Back in the United States, Detective Sullivan began to have doubts.
I couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right.
Kofi's demeanor, his genuine confusion, haunted him. Determined to follow his gut instinct, Sullivan decided to review the evidence again, this time with fresh eyes.
I need to look at this from a different angle.
He enlisted the help of Sarah Blake, a sharp and meticulous forensic analyst.
Let's go through every detail, every photograph, every shred of evidence.
Together, they meticulously combed through everything. Their persistence would prove to be the turning point in Kofi's nightmare.
I worked tirelessly, driven by an unwavering commitment to uncovering the truth. I scrutinized fingerprints, analyzed facial recognition software, and reviewed countless hours of surveillance footage. Finally, a breakthrough. A seemingly insignificant detail, facial resemblance, a watch worn by the real Ethan Grady in a blurry photograph, was different from the one Kofi owned. It was the missing link, the irrefutable proof we needed.
The truth was out, and it pointed to a grave miscarriage of justice. Kofi Mensah, the innocent carpenter from Accra, had been wrongfully imprisoned. The news of Kofi's innocence spread like wildfire. The authorities moved swiftly, eager to right the wrong. After what felt like an eternity, the prison gates finally swung open, and Kofi walked out, a free man. The joy of freedom, however, was bittersweet. While he was back with his family, the ordeal had left its mark. The wrongful imprisonment had taken a toll, leaving him emotionally scarred, his spirit wounded. The ordeal had tested his faith in humanity, but the love of his family and the support of those who believed in him provided the strength he needed to heal. Kofi's return to Ghana was met with both joy and outrage. The community rallied around him, offering support and condemning the injustice he had suffered. However, the psychological and emotional scars of his wrongful imprisonment lingered. The nightmares, the fear, the distrust haunted him, a constant reminder of the ordeal. His story became a stark reminder of the flaws within the justice system, a system that could so easily fail an innocent man. The experience, though traumatic, ignited a fire in Kofi's heart, a determination to fight for others who had been wrongly accused. The FBI issued a public apology, admitting to their grave mistake. Kofi was released from prison and offered a comprehensive compensation package to make amends for the trauma he endured. Beyond the multi-million-dollar settlement, the US government provided him with several life-altering benefits. Kofi was offered a prestigious job as a global cultural ambassador in an international organization based in Ghana and the US, leveraging his experience and newfound global recognition to promote cross-cultural understanding. As part of the settlement, Kofi was gifted a brand new luxury SUV, symbolizing a gesture of goodwill and a way to restore his dignity. The US government financed the construction of a state-of-the-art residence for Kofi and his family in Accra, complete with modern amenities and high-security measures. Kofi and his immediate family were granted lifetime permits to travel in and out of the US without restrictions, ensuring their ability to visit for business or leisure whenever they pleased. A formal ceremony was held in Washington, D.C., where Kofi was publicly honored. During the event, he received a key to the city of Cleveland as a gesture of goodwill. Despite his ordeal, Kofi chose to use his compensation for the betterment of his community. He expanded his business, built schools, and started a scholarship fund for underprivileged children in Ghana. His wife, Adena, who had stood by him through the nightmare, became an advocate for justice reform between Africa and the USA, sharing their story to highlight the importance of careful investigations. As for Ethan Grady, the real criminal remained on the run, but his days of freedom were numbered. Kofi, now a respected figure in Ghana and the United States, had turned his pain into purpose, proving that even in the face of injustice, hope and humanity can prevail.